So last week or a couple of weeks ago, we went through this extensive, in-depth look at what the CBC and the Toronto Sun did. They went undercover to expose Ticketmaster in Las Vegas. They were at this ticket convention thing or live event thing, and they went undercover, got it on camera, audio, everything, exposing Ticketmaster for these really disgusting practices of encouraging scalpers to use their services. Essentially what happens is, and we got a great video on it, I'll put some links, but essentially what happens is the website Ticketmaster, they came up with this whole thing, this program called Trade Desk. What Trade Desk does is allows you to upload bulk ticket quantities to their resale site. So there's a limit to buy tickets. You can only buy 6 tickets or 8 tickets, whatever the limit is per event, but you can upload, 40 tickets to sell. And they work with these ticket brokers, resellers. And the reason being is because when they sell the ticket to them, they get a ticket fee. And then when the broker resells the ticket through Ticketmaster.com, they get another fee. I mean, it's the sleaziest thing I've ever seen, especially with a multinational corporate. Like, you're so huge. Why would you risk yourself doing something crazy like this? It seems nuts. And so all the this is all like technically legal and okay, but all the scalpers have multiple accounts and they don't do anything to bust these fake accounts. So, and it was admitted on the tape, some of these brokers got like 100 accounts. They're out there buying the max of 6 tickets. They're using Ticketbot software to do it. And this Trade Desk and this other, these other programs from Ticketmaster encourage these resales. I mean, the point of the resale was I can't make it to the event. Let me recoup my money back. That's the point. Not let me use my Ticketbot software to buy hundreds of tickets and then put them back on sale again so that Ticketmaster and Live Nation could pocket the money. So kudos to CBC and the Toronto Star for putting together this whole investigation. Like I said, we have an in-depth morning show with Anthony vlog about it at weagent.com. I'll put links. Now, Ticketmaster is being hit with a class action lawsuit filed Friday in California federal court. The complaint states, quote, "Have you ever wondered why Ticketmaster has been unable to rid itself of the scalpers who purchase mass quantities of concert or sport tickets from its website and then resell them for much more minutes later? The answer, Ticketmaster hasn't wanted to rid itself of scalpers because it turns out they have been working with them. Ticketmaster's professional reseller handbook includes a program that rewards professional reseller partners for increased sales year over year. Indeed, on its own website, Ticketmaster refers to the activity of professional scalpers as unfair competition, states the complaint. But now it has been caught secretly permitting, facilitating, and actively encouraging the sale of ticket scalpers on the secondary market using the Ticket Trade Desk platform, all for a second cut on those sales. Lead plaintiff Alan Lee is suing Ticketmaster and its parent company Live Nation Entertainment for unfair business practices and unjust enrichment. He is represented by Steve Berman and Elaine Bizweski of Hagens Berman. The proposed class is defined as, quote, all end-user purchasers in the United States who purchased a secondary market Ticketmaster ticket from a professional reseller participating in Ticketmaster's resale program and or using Trade Desk or a similar system operated by defendants such as Event Inventory or EI Marketplace. The complaint notes that the practice is on the radar of at least 2 U.S. senators, Jerry Moran and Richard Blumenthal, who sent a letter to Live Nation asking for clarification about the program. Ticketmaster has not yet replied to a request for comment on the complaint, according to the Hollywood Reporter who has this story. So good for them. If you were as angry and upset as I was last week or the week before when the CBC put out their piece and we put out our little piece to go along with that, now you're going to see some justice here. So essentially, if you've bought a ticket through the reseller program at Ticketmaster.com Heads up, because you might be in on this one. And I think this is still ongoing, so if you want to get in on it even more, you probably can. Now, if you remember, what was it, 2016? I think in 2016, Ticketmaster announced their, or Live Nation, I forget which one it came from. It's essentially the same company. Announced their, big class action suit settlement, which was giving away free tickets. That was how they settled their class action lawsuit the first time around. Remember, you had to go on the site and you had to register and you had to do all these crazy things. And then, essentially you got your tickets. And I thought they were going to pawn us off on bad shows. Turns out that they didn't do that. They put it out, fairly good shows. It was fair in that sort of a nature. But I don't know. If you ask me, second time we're slapping your hand out of the candy jar this time around, I don't think free tickets is appropriate. I think they need to get hit financially. I don't think settling this by giving us comp tickets to an event is the way to go. They doled out millions of dollars of free tickets as part of a class action settlement over its excessive and misleading processing fees. So that was for the processing fees. This is for working with the scalpers and everything else. And the company settled that class action lawsuit for $400 million. God, this Ticketmaster, they are awful. Awful. This is disgusting. Not only do I hope they get hit with this, I hope that they really, get investigated and looked at, because it's essentially a monopoly. I mean, it's incredibly monopolistic. And the fact that Live Nation, it's just insane where we've let this kind of a thing go. But this could easily be cleaned up, and they're just choosing not to do it. We'll follow this as it continues here, but that's the latest class action lawsuit filed against Ticketmaster. Again, if you've purchased any of these reseller tickets, hang out, because you might have something, you might be a part of this. Now, the thing to find out is I don't even know if there's any way of knowing until this thing literally goes to litigation, if whether or not you purchased from a real broker registered in the trade desk as the complaint is filed. That's what you'd have to find out. But if you at least bought a resale ticket over the last few years, you're probably in the game to begin with.